Hi, happy Sunday. Welcome to my office. Yep, this is my weekend to work, so had a death, a pronouncement visit, first visit. I saw him yesterday. We knew he was doing poorly and he passed away this morning. So I went over this morning, did a death visit, also called a pronouncement visit, meaning we have to check for an absence of vital signs. Look at our clock after we check. That is the time of death. That is the pronouncement visit. Call up the medical examiner, give them the information, the time of death. They give us a release number. Some counties do it differently, but in Westchester County, we need a medical release number and speak to a medical examiner. Then call up the funeral home. Or the family was lovely. So there's a couple things I wanted to go through. I'll do it quick. Lovely family. They were expecting it. This gentleman had terminal cancer. They knew this day was coming. Anticipatory grief. So now this shifts a bit. We knew this day was coming. Kind of like you see the train coming, but when it hits, it's different. So I would say all hospices offer a bereavement benefit. When things slow down, they can call us. And it's a great benefit. I took the course. It's a great benefit. For people who need it. Some families do not. This family may not. They have a lot of support. Typically, a bereavement, it's about a year after the person's passing. Again, because, it's kind of like a roller coaster at the end. I don't know if I mentioned that before. But the other thing I wanted to go through with this is there was a grandchild that came with her parents. And initially, the family said, no, I do not want you to go in and see your grandfather. And with some talking, they allowed her to go in to see her deceased grandfather. Now, I think it is very, very important not to exclude children from this experience. And every death is different, and people have to use their judgment. But you are not protecting the children. You are excluding them, and they do not have the closure they need. And that can affect them later on. So I think it is very important. That's a very important point to bring up. Children need to be included. Sensitively. And knowing your family, but they need to be included. The last thing I want to bring up about this is people who are entering the dying phase, or we wouldn't expect anything in the actively dying phase except patients getting ready to actively die. So we would want them really unconscious and their body just going through the motions, for lack of a better phrase. But as they are entering the dying phase, many patients will say they're going on a trip. Either I gotta go, gotta get dressed, gotta take a bus, where are we taking the trip? They're going on a trip. And this is what this man was doing. Gotta get dressed, gotta get out of here. And I told them that the night before. I saw him yesterday. And so we went through all that. So she was prepared. Again, hospice is a different language. And when people know this, it is less scary. So she knew that, okay, he's preparing to go. And then within an hour, he was out. He was in the actively dying phase. The last thing I want to bring up, points to ponder, is she read him a prayer. And it seemed like that's what he needed. Right after she read the prayer, he passed away. And she just said, I don't know what made me do it, but I just felt like I needed to do that, and he needed to hear that. Clearly, he did. So we left with this thought. If you do not believe in signs and synchronicities and miracles, you will find them nowhere. that will not be part of your reality. But if you do believe in signs, synchronicities, and miracles, you will see them everywhere. I prefer the latter. I see signs, synchronicities, and miracles all the time. And now she does too. So the more you know, let's be good humans and have a good day. Bye.